Hey, Liquid Trucking, real quick before we get to episode 85, I wanted to bring you guys an important update. The Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance's Operation Safe Driver Week is taking place between July 13th and July 19th, 2025. And the reason I wanted to tell you about this is because they are going to be focusing Operation Safe Driver Week on reckless, careless, or dangerous driving. And I've got a little update here from CDL Life. It says reckless driving is defined as operating a vehicle in willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. Careless/dangerous driving is defined as operating a vehicle without due care and attention or reasonable consideration for other motorists or people on the road. This will be the first major CVSA enforcement effort since the lack of English proficiency for commercial vehicle drivers was returned to an out-of-service violation back in June. During last year's Operation Safe Driver Week campaign, officers pulled over 11,000 passenger and commercial vehicles in the U.S. and Canada. A total of 2,439 warnings and 1,583 citations were issued to commercial vehicle drivers. The CVSA's Brake Safety Week inspection effort is scheduled for late August. That's August 24th through the 30th. But July 13th through the 19th, make sure to keep your head on a swivel. Be safe out there. And don't be surprised if you get pulled in I don't know whether they actually will give you an inspection here or what the deal is, but they're going to be out in force. So keep that safe driving right where it's always been, at the forefront of your focus, and all things should be well for you liquid drivers during CVSA's Operation Safe Driver Week, once again, July 13th through the 19th, 2025. Let's get to the episode.
What's up, Liquid Trucking, and welcome into the Liquid Trucking Podcast for episode 85. We're reigniting the Great Debate Series, and we're going to get a bunch of drivers in here to talk all things barbecue today. It's a tasty episode, and I am so excited about it. It's going to be a real fun conversation, bringing in some liquid drivers and an old friend of mine that's got 10 years of trucking under his belt and is also a veteran broadcaster. So very fun conversation coming up right around the corner for you here. And following that, I'm going to be joined by my guy Jake Debo from the Plattsmouth Terminal, and he and I are going to introduce the Liquid Trucking Draft. This is going to be a fun segment that we're going to do with all sorts of different things, but today, Jake and I will be drafting our favorite barbecue side dishes. And that's really fun because there's two of us, there's a bunch of good sides, and I guarantee he's going to pick something that I want, and I'm going to pick something that he wants. So there's for sure going to be fire in the flames in this draft. I can't wait for it. So stay tuned for all that coming up. Real quick, just a little bit of homework to lead off the show here because the interview ran really long. I'm just going to be honest with you, and Jake's and my segment ran longer than I thought it would, so we're crunched for time right now in the intro, so let's get to the homework section of the show. Podcast.liquidtrucking.com. That's where version 2 of our awesome website is at. Go over there for all things Liquid Trucking Podcast. We've got some driver metrics up there. We've got a place where you can get yourself hooked up with merch. Oh, yeah, and every single episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast is up there for you to check out. 85 of them as of today when you're listening to this. So we're closing in on 100, man. Only 15 episodes left to go, and we are going to celebrate triple digits on this podcast. Very exciting stuff. Don't forget, you can always email me. I don't get a lot of emails from you guys, and I understand why. A lot of you are rolling down the road, and it's not really conducive to email writing. But I also know that your government-mandated time keeps you stopped from time to time for various amounts of time. So if you got the time and you have anything that you'd like to hear on the podcast, maybe a question about the way we produce it, maybe questions about coming on the podcast yourself, just shoot me an email there, podcast@liquidtrucking.com. We're always watching. There's like 3 people that watch that inbox all the time, so we're not going to miss any messages. You guys got to fill it up with all the things that you want to know about. And also, if you're just looking to get in touch with me and maybe have a conversation before we book a podcast segment for you, I'm totally fine with that. Most of the drivers that will come on this podcast, I will have had, various 15, 20-minute conversations with, sometimes multiple times before they come on, and I'm fine with that. I want you to be as comfortable as possible. When you don't do something like this as a hobby or for a living, it's a little intimidating, and I get it. However, I am the dude with thousands of these episodes under my belt. In my broadcast career, I can't even count the number of podcasts and also just full-on 4-hour radio shows that I've put on, not to mention all the live emceeing and live events that I've done. So I totally understand that this is not everybody's bag of chips, but if you'll give me a chance to talk you through the process a little bit, talk to you about the way that I work, a lot of drivers find that, hey, this is more of a conversation than anything else, and we have those all day, every day. So make sure to email us, podcast@liquidtrucking.com, and go check out the brand new version 2 of our awesome podcast website, podcast.liquidtrucking.com. Okay, you just heard me say it. It's more of a conversation. It's time to jump into our great debate here about the best barbecue in the land. And I'll be straight up with you here. We don't debate this like they debate on TV when two old men are trying to decide who's going to ruin the country next. This is more of a roundtable conversation, but we like to call it the Great Debate Series because, hey, we're giving you a reason to argue about stuff. And if you guys are listening to this and you have some thoughts, I did some research, but I'm nothing of a barbecue aficionado. I love barbecue. I'll eat it just about anywhere you put it in front of me, but I might get some of the details wrong here. So if I do, be sure to send us an email, podcast@liquidtrucking.com, and we will correct ourselves. I would love to do a correction segment on here. You guys send me emails, tell me stuff that I screwed up, and we will have an apology segment on here where I go through and apologize for all of the wrongs that I've made. We can do that too. It's all going to happen by you guys getting in touch with me again. Podcast@liquidtrucking.com. All right, enough of my babble. It's time for us to get to our roundtable discussion or great debate about the best barbecue in the United States. I'm going to 3 drivers and a 4th that's a longtime colleague and retired driver. This is going to be a fun one, and I'm sure you have thoughts to add to it. So here is the great debate. The best barbecue in the land.
Welcome to the gold standard of podcasts for the gold standard of drivers. This is the Liquid Trucking Podcast with your host, Marcus Bridges.
Welcome back to the Liquid Trucking Podcast. Very excited about our segment here as I am joined by 4 people. And one of these guys making his, I think maybe only his first or second appearance here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. And very, very happy to have him. Since our drivers are making repeat appearances, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my colleague here first. Joining us first today is Denny Stone. Denny is a retired truck driver and retired broadcaster as well, with a fantastic voice and a lot to say about our topic today, which is barbecue, specifically out of the region of Texas. Denny Stone, thank you so much for being here. You and I have done a lot of podcast episodes together, my friend, and this is just the next one. Very, very happy to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be with you again.
It's been a while now. Tell us real quick just a little bit about the broadcasting career and your trucking career as well, because obviously our Liquid Trucking audience isn't as familiar with you as some of our other audiences have been. So give me the quick backstory.
I started in radio shortly after I got out of the Marine Corps while I was in college in 1977, and it was literally, if you watch WKRP in Cincinnati, that's pretty much what it was like. It was wild and crazy and fun. And over the years, it just got tedious and more corporate and less fun. And finally, I'd had enough. So I got my CDL, hit the road, spent a little over 15 years and at least 1.5 million miles, probably closer to 2 million miles under my belt, traveling, 48 states. I pretty much quit going to New England for after a few years because I just don't like that part of the country. I love the Midwest, the Pacific Northwest. So I spent a lot of time up there. So, yeah, I got a little experience in both. Most of my broadcast career was country radio. Imagine that, being from Texas. But
Yeah, I mean, I think with your voice tone, Denny, you'd do great on rock radio too. If you could give us some of that real late night, cigarette tainted growl.
oh, like Crash was.
There you go.
When I was growing up outside the station we could pull in, the album rock station we pulled in was out of Houston. There was a guy named Crash that was on late at night, and you could hear him pause when he was rolling one and licking it.
Good times, good times. Well, that's Denny Stone, and he will be joining us for today's conversation, along with three drivers joining us here from the Teenage Hotline. First off, leading them off, I got Polar Bear back with me. Polar Bear, always a pleasure to have you on, man. How you doing out there today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Tampa Bay getting washed out.
Oh, dang! How's the weather in Tampa Bay on a weekend like this?
Hot as hell.
Yeah, I imagine so. Next up, we've got Jason Crayenhagen on the line. Jason, glad to have you back, man. It's been a few since we've got you on this one. Welcome back.
Yeah. Yep.
And finally, rounding out the lineup for the day, we've got Matt Kleich back on the horn with us. And Matt, as always, a pleasure to have you, my friend. How you doing out there today?
We're doing good. I am actually off. I am at home enjoying it. And Denny, I'm not going to lie, you're a Southern boy, you're Texas, and you do have a voice to do the rock radio. Pantera would love you.
Yeah, well, I like country blues. I like the old rock, but when they start screaming at me too much, that's when I got to push the button, man.
Yeah, he had the same problem with me as a co-host too. He just got a mute button with my name on it.
Problem was you couldn't shut him up.
No, you can't. I got ways around it, man. I'll call you. I'll show up at your damn house. I don't care.
I have a thing here, Marcus, because none of us shut up.
Yeah. This is going to be a good one, fellas. And I brought you all in today to talk about barbecue. It's been a while since we've reignited our great debate series here on the podcast. And the last few times we've done great debate series, we've talked about trucks and truck stops and all sorts of things trucking. And I wanted to get away from that and talk about something that I know we all love. And actually talking to some of the powers that be over at Liquid, my guy Jason Eisenman was telling me, you guys have some pretty strong feelings about barbecue. And I know Denny, just being from Texas, has some strong feelings about Texas. So this is going to be a fun conversation. Yeah, I don't think. I know. I'm experienced here. But one thing I'm not quite as experienced in, or even not even close, I'm not in the same ballpark as you guys. Because of where I live, we don't really have regional barbecue in the Pacific Northwest. In fact, it's hard for me to say, other than really good fresh seafood, that we've got regional anything in the Pacific Northwest, because it all seems like it comes from some other region and it's sort of adapted to the Pacific Northwest. So I'm probably going to defer to you guys a lot here, but I will let you know I did do my research, okay? I went to all the websites. I read all the blogs. I've got so much barbecue opinion from other people, and I'm ready to unleash it on you guys. Now, if you're new to our great debate series here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast, it's not what I would call a structured debate at all. I would say, imagine you're sitting around a card table with a tall, cool one. That's the type of debate we're going to have. If somebody gets called an asshole, that's just par for the course, right, fellas?
Oh.
Okay, great.
That's what we do all day long is debate.
Yeah, and call each other assholes, right?
Oh, man, Jason, do you stumble? Well, okay. I still debate. That's all, folks.
Well, you know what? That brings me to my first question here. I'm going to present it to Jason first, because I talked a little bit to Polar Bear. I talked a little bit to Matt. Of course, I think I know where Denny's going to be coming from here. But Jason, you're kind of the wild card. So there's regional barbecue styles all over the country, and they tend to be quite a bit different. So talk to me. As a truck driver, you've probably tried them all. What's your favorite? What's the best?
I mean, what are we talking about? Like food chains or something here? Like, I mean,
I'm more talking about the style of barbecue. So like, yeah, like Kansas City or Memphis or Texas, they all kind of have their different flavors and different sauces and different methods. Is there
I lean more towards the tastier kind, so I suppose I'd probably, yeah.
You like
I don't know if I'm real.
Like a thin sauce, like kind of a thin peppery sauce?
Yeah.
Okay, so based on my research, and I know I'll get crucified for this if I'm wrong, but that's fair. I think that's Memphis style. I'm reading here. Memphis style focuses primarily on pork, ribs. They do dry spice and wet spice, and it's a thin, tangy tomato-based sauce with a vinegar spicy kick.
You just nailed it. That's everything I like right there. Yep.
Okay. All right. So I got to be honest with you. I've not really tried much Memphis barbecue, fellas. I'm gonna turn this over to you guys and get your thoughts on it. Polar Bear, what do you think?
That's exactly the way I am. Yeah, I like the sauce. I like it more wet than I like the ribs. The one thing I really like is just anything barbecued with the smoke, just the flavor. It really don't matter.
You like the slow smoke?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about you, Matt?
No, that ain't fair. Memphis style is good. Don't get me wrong. Memphis style, the sweet, the sultry that goes into it, but Memphis, they do accommodate a good dry rub. They really do. You can get a nice and spicy with a little bit of heat on the backside from Memphis barbecue, and their sauces are amazing. They're a lot of tomato based, but a lot of them are. And Denny might be able to input on this a little bit, but the only ones that I truly feel they differential, and that's a Carolina barbecue when they come in with the mustard.
Yeah, yep.
It's Carolina all day long. Carolina barbecue is where it's at. They come in with that mustard, and they bring that sweet heat with that mustard kick. It's kind of like having sushi with a little bit of that extra, with a little bit of that extra soy and stuff going on. It just kind of brings that heat to it.
If I had put money on whether or not sushi was going to get brought up during our barbecue conversation, I would have lost every penny.
Yeah. Well, you think about it because they bring that sweet heat to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
They bring you're sitting down and Korean barbecue is infamous for that sweet heat, and it's always a tomato based sweet heat, and for me it's that I want that flavor in there, and they lock that flavor in with that sweet heat. It's Carolina for me. It's mustard all day long.
Wait, my mouth is watering. Denny, Texas barbecue is very specific in the way that they put things together, and I know that there's actually different regions throughout the state of Texas, so we'll get into that. But you've told me before that I don't know what chili is because I put beans in it, and so I know you're probably gonna have some strong opinions here. So talk to me about Texas barbecue. Educate me a little bit and tell me why you probably think it's the best.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's make sure we've got the right definition.
Okay.
Barbecue is not grilling.
Right.
If you're throwing hot dogs and brats and hamburger patties on the charcoal grill, that is not barbecue.
Well, my 4th of July party is insulted by that comment, but continue.
Barbecue is actually akin to smoking. And in Texas, it's pretty much smoked. You use mesquite or oak or any fruit wood will give you a good flavor. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you had a peach tree in the yard that died, you chop that up. That makes great flavorful barbecue. Another thing, if you go to a barbecue place in Texas and they have already put barbecue sauce on your brisket, you need to just do an about face and walk out of that fucking place.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming because of all the research, but also I've been told by some Texas brisket, they'll die on that hill. It's their favorite thing to cook. It's their favorite thing to eat. No sauce ever touches that table. I mean, it never gets close. So
they'll offer you sauce if you want it. I mean, they'll have sauce. In fact, most places will have a variety. They'll have a sweet one and one with some spice. They even have Texas spice, a lot of them. But if it's already on there, like a glaze, like they do ribs, and I'm not knocking that, a good glaze on a ribs or burn ends or something, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas brisket does not come off there with sauce on it. They do a dry rub, and they'll smoke it for a certain amount of time to get that smoke flavor, and then they generally wrap it. They'll wrap it, like double wrap it in foil and stick it back there, and it's low and slow is the slogan. You're talking probably 12 hours or so to cook a brisket.
Yeah. No, I've got a buddy that he started out on his brisket journey, and it was a real circus because his favorite thing to do was put the brisket on and pour himself a glass of really nice scotch and sit next to the smoker. But he couldn't last the 18 hours drinking scotch that it took to get that. So it would either come out of there a hockey puck or it would be raw like a steak because he'd be too drunk to finish. So I've got a brisket that my dad gave me sitting in the freezer right now. And I know that that's a sin. You're not supposed to freeze them, but I'm too scared of the goddamn thing to figure out whether or not I can even cook it. So brisket it's not really my bag of tricks. I love it. I'll eat it, but I've never made one myself. And I'll tell you, it seems intimidating, Denny.
Well, here's just a good example for you. A good friend of mine, I've known him for 100 years, Bob, lives up in Columbus, Ohio. He came down to see me not too long ago and spent a few days down here. And I said, well, where do you want to go out to eat? Because we live in New Braunfels, which is a traditional German community in Texas, just north of San Antonio. And so there's really good, authentic German food. Mm-hmm. Then there's obviously we've got, like some blocks have 3 Mexican food places. We've been here 2 years since we moved back to Texas. We've yet to hit probably half of them just in this town.
Wow.
There's so many Mexican food. So I said, we got good German food. We got good Mexican food. We've got fresh Gulf seafood. And we, of course, got barbecue. He said, barbecue, let's go get barbecue. So I took him to Black's Barbecue. I'll give him a plug. Their original location is in Lockhart, but they've got a location here. And after he got home, he called me a few days later. He goes, you've ruined me, damn it. I'm like, what? Said, I can't eat barbecue now. Well, what he meant, he can't eat brisket. Because I told him, I said, just follow the same rule I had when I was trucking. If I was outside the borders of Texas, I didn't eat brisket, because if I did, I was disappointed. But you get around Memphis, get around St. Louis, get around Kansas City, get over in the Carolinas. If you're east, pulled pork's the thing, man.
Yeah.
So there's good barbecue that you can enjoy. It's just, at least for me, where else can you go that when you walk up to the counter and you order brisket and you get it by the pound at Black's Barbecue? You don't order a plate with a bunch of stuff on it. You say, slice me off this much. They ask, do you want fatty or lean? Have you ever heard that before? Because you got the fatty part and the lean part. And usually what we do is we say mix it half and half. But that fat has a lot of flavor in it because you've got that seasoning that's into that fat. So, but yeah, you go to Minnesota or somewhere, they're not going to ask you that question. And if you ask them, they're going to look at you like, what the hell?
Minnesota, they're going to ask you your pronouns, Denny. That's all they care about up there, right?
Don't you want some cheese? You betcha.
Yeah.
Question for Denny quick, because he's becoming my idol here real quick. But over there by Ennis, Texas, Alma, Texas, where the Big Loves is, across the road to the south there off of 35, or is it 45? It's 45.
That's Soul Man?
That barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, love that one. I mean, it's not as good as other ones, but it's good. And they've got a loaded baked potato that you could eat and make a meal out of just with that.
Yep. Okay, I was just kind of curious because I know you're down in Texas. Polar Bear and I are both familiar with New Braunfels. We are.
Yeah.
And that area, but I was just kind of curious if you knew of that barbecue pit down there. So.
Been there many times, and if you ever get out a little west of 35, out a town called Llano, you'll see Cooper's Barbecue in a number of locations, but the original that's handed down from father to son is in Llano, and that's the one to hit. The other ones are spinoffs that somehow they got to use the name, and I won't say they're terrible, they're just not as good.
Okay.
you guys see why I brought Denny?
Some of them just have the name barbecue. That's it. Not that they serve it good.
Well, I had to bring Denny here because somebody needed to carry the weight of the host chair in this podcast. Because, guys, I don't have the experience. But let me ask you this, fellas. I am curious because I was told too that, hey, these guys all are going to say Kansas City barbecue, or not you guys specifically, but when I was told that barbecue is popular. I was also told that there's a lot of Kansas City barbecue fans. Now, I'm reading, and also I know this a little bit because there is one place I've had good authentic barbecue, and it is in Kansas City, Missouri. They like that big, sticky, sweet, thick sauce, molasses based. And I'm gonna go out on an end here, on a limb here, guys, and chop it off and let me fall off the cliff if you want to. But I don't think there's a better barbecue dish out there than burnt ends, Kansas City style. We used to have a food cart here. It was called Barbecue King, and this gentleman hailed from Kansas City. And when he would sauce your burnt ends, he'd throw them on just a piece of white Wonder Bread, and he'd grab a ladle that I swear to God was like a gallon, and he would drip that, and he'd go, oh, and he'd put it on there for you. He's a big old 6'8" dude. And, I had some burnt ends in Kansas City as well when I was out there. Man, I don't know if there's anything that I want more than some good, sweet Kansas City burnt ends. And Jason, you've been kind of quiet over there. Are you going to crucify me for that because it's not spicy? I mean, am I being a little bit too juvenile needing this much sugar on my meat?
No, man. The burnt ends are probably my favorite, honestly.
My God.
Like a good burnt end sandwich. I love burnt ends.
But
I don't think I've ever had it in Kansas City, though.
Okay. So what, a couple of these guys have mentioned spots around, different barbecue spots. They're talking about the ones in Texas. Jason, is there one that you really like to stop by that is like a hands down, if I'm going through that area, I'm stopping at this place?
Yeah, his name, he lives in Fremont, and his name is Matt Kleich.
Well, it's the legend. The man, the myth, the legend, man. I hear you're pretty good with your barbecuing, Matt.
Okay, I love what I do. And Denny, if you're a cuer yourself, so you find a little bit of a niche and a little bit of a passion for it, and you find out what you're good at. I'm not gonna lie. When you spoke of doing the brisket, I'm scared to death of it.
Me too, man.
I am scared to death of it doing a brisket. But if you give me pulled pork or chicken or ribs, pork ribs, St. Louis style cut, it doesn't matter. I can handle it. I am scared to death of beef. Scared to death.
Right. Well, I have been for many years because, you can get an electric smoker where you can control the temperature, but that's kind of like cheating. You've seen the smokers in Texas that are huge. Yeah. They have the box on the side. They're cast iron. They're as big as a propane tank, But now they're making, Traeger is one that makes a pellet smoker that I've been very intrigued with. My son's talking about getting one. I hope he does so I don't have to buy it first. But it has automatic feed, temperature control, and you can put the, whatever flavor pellets you want in there, and you're really, truly smoking. But it looks like it takes a whole lot of the guesswork out of it.
A ton of it. And I will speak from experience here because I own one. And last time I used it, I'm not joking, you guys. I was going to set it and let it warm up, had to run to the store and grab something, forgot to turn it on. And I turned it on in Albertsons from the app on my phone, and it was still warm by the time I got home. There's just nothing better than that for me because my memory, I got the attention span of a New York City rat.
I need to host a podcast so I can afford this shit.
It was that was a Father's Day present for me, and it was, my wife told me, I'm going to get you one Father's Day present since you're not a father, and it's going to be one for your entire life, and it was that Traeger grill. So I do like it. I will say this, if you are wanting to do traditional grilling on it, mine will not get above about 440 degrees. I don't know if it's the size. It's not defective. Everything works fine. but I can't sear a steak on my Traeger. And if you are listening to them advertise, they'll tell you that you can sear, you can bake, you can smoke. And I need a 500 degrees at minimum to sear a steak if I'm going to be doing it on a grill. And I can't do it, unfortunately, on my Traeger. It's the one knock I have on it. But aside from that, guys, I would say if you're looking to take that guesswork out of opening your smoke vent and watching temperatures all the time, Traeger's the way to go.
Can I throw something in here while I'm thinking about it?
As long as it's not another insult about me making a bunch of money, because that's not true.
Fajitas. That really falls more under grilling, in my opinion. But I'm just going to throw it out there for those that don't know. The Hispanics who invented / created fajitas, the fajita is a cut of beef, and it's like the cheapest cut there is. That's why they would marinate it for a long time. And then, anyway, if you want to make fajitas and round steak or sirloin is cheaper than fajita meat, by all means, buy the better cut of meat. It'll make perfectly good fajitas, and you don't have to marinate it and, mess with it so long to make it tender. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Hey, that's a good Gordon Ramsay tip. Just waiting for you to call me an asshole or an idiot sandwich or something, and with a bit of a British accent.
You got a little marbling in there
to
make it moist. And
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
That's carne asada is all it is. That's basically what it is. The cut of steak is carne asada, or carne is what it is. It's a beef cut is all it is, you know. And you're down there in Texas. You're down in New Braunfels, so you're not that far away from San Antonio. Al Fragoni down there's got a hell of a name for him doing that stuff down there in San Antonio. Denny, have you heard of him?
I have not.
Al Fragoni is an open fire cooker. He's got a great big name down there.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, I didn't recognize the name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Al Fragoni, he's down. If I could meet anybody, Denny, that would be the man I would meet. There's two of them in my world, but Al Fragoni would be the one. And you're talking about those fajitas and stuff and how he does that stuff on an open fire pit. He does not smoke. He does not grill. He does open fire cooking, and it's huge. It's getting bigger by the year.
I'll tell you one thing that blows my mind more than anything else in this podcast today is that I'm the second person in Matt's life that he would just die to meet. This guy that does the cooking and then me. He said there was two people. He didn't mention the second one. I'm just assuming it's probably me.
That's why he never mentions the second one. I think I'm on that list too, but I've already met him. I don't know. It's not that great.
It's not that big. I've seen two fat people fight over a Snickers bar.
Hey, y'all want to hear something funny?
Wow.
I just got back from visiting my dad, who's almost 94 years old, living in a retirement home up in North Texas, north of Dallas. While I was up there, the next table over, these two codgers were about to come to blows. One of them can't even stand up. And they were throwing the F-bomb and GD and everything else back and forth. The attendants came over to pull them apart. I never thought I'd see two old codgers just fixing to get after it at the breakfast table.
I mean, you got to make your time in one of those, assisted living facilities fun. Like, steal some shit. Just do something. Throw a wrench in the spokes.
Yeah.
It's
the lady came over, the one that gives Dad his meds came over, leaned over to me, and she goes, "Now you see why he changed to the other table?"
Right?
Yeah, that coffee's
They've
hot.
probably been friends since they were 5 years old, though.
Yep, it's true. It's true, man. So
I'm the old men, they already made this. They already made the movies.
I want to get back to talking a little bit about the Carolinas here, because in my research, I stumbled across some things that really surprised me. First and foremost, I want to talk about, Matt brought up the Carolina Gold, the mustard-based barbecue sauce, and well, I don't even know, mustard-based sauce, let's call it that. I've not tried that out in Carolina, but I will tell you that the guys at Liquid Trucking took me to a little sports bar there. I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes away from the main terminal there in Plattsmouth. Big open area, lots of TVs, and they did wings. And I was told by no less than 6 people before we went there, you're robbing yourself if you go to this place and don't try their Carolina Gold Sauce. Now, I'd never had it before, but an absolute home run. I mean, that stuff on some chicken wings, you might be able to peel me away from buffalo wings, Matt, with that Carolina Gold Sauce done right.
Yep, that's a DJ Dugout. Is that where
Yep, that was where it was.
Dugout. Yep.
And how's their gold sauce compared to a real one coming out of the Carolinas, Matt?
Here's the thing, they differ from state to state, so nobody's is better than the others based on region. South Carolina, North Carolina, they come with that mustard sauce, and they mustard by itself is a potent seasoning. I mean, all by itself, and then they mash it up, they make it all yellow and pretty and stuff. But they work it. They just work it different. I think it's the heart and soul that goes into it. That South Carolina, those buffalo wings that you get from Buffalo Wild Wings aren't nothing. When you can get good flavor and you can still taste the meat and you can taste the smoke, and they add that in there and they just lay it out there. I mean, it just becomes a platter for you. I mean, and your palate every bite is different, but in a sense, you're experiencing so many different things. I like the mustard aspect of it. I don't know how they came about it. Denny sounds like he's been in this industry a lot longer than me. He might understand the Carolina mustards better than I do.
I don't understand that. I just understand I like them because I was stationed in North Carolina. So I know I like it. And like Marcus said, I like it more on like wings or something like that. With the pulled pork, I like the sweet sauce. I'm with you. I don't want the spice. I want the sweet with the pulled pork. But yeah, I love that Carolina sauce with wings and dipping some hand-cut fries in it.
Yeah. Yep. It was really good on fries. Now, let me pose this question to you. And fellas, I don't think we have anybody here that hails from Alabama, do we? No? Okay.
Not that would admit it.
Yeah, not that anybody would admit it, right? What the hell is going on in Alabama? I'm seeing something about Alabama white sauce. It's a mayonnaise-based concoction used primarily on chicken. Never tried it before. It says here mayonnaise, vinegar, and black pepper, which, okay, maybe, but I like barbecue. It's hard enough to see the gold color and think this is a little different than what I'm expecting. If you put what looks like ranch dressing on my barbecue chicken, I'm going to hit you.
Sounds kind of like that fry sauce they make up in Idaho.
Yeah, no thank you. What, have you guys tried this?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Thoughts?
Oh, but I was just going to say, I'll let you all do it first.
Matter of fact, we just did a backyard barbecue, and I took some guys up, and we did a backyard barbecue, and I didn't do a whole lot. Just so you know, I drink a lot of beer and sat back and watched. But my third and fourth place guys, based off of the region, but my fourth place guy used mayonnaise and black pepper. He did that on his ribs.
On ribs? Did you tell him politely but firmly to leave?
I let him play his game. We did third and fourth place, and my third place guy did a Nebraska-based honey glazed rib. And then my fourth place guy, he did the mayonnaise. I was shocked.
That's why he was in fourth place.
Yeah, right. That sounds like a fourth place meal.
11 out of 11 teams, you placed fourth. You're doing good.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Polar Bear, you got any thoughts on this Alabama white sauce?
No, never. The biggest thing is I'm always in my semi, and most places are not semi friendly. So there's only very few places that I'm able to go to.
And
like I said, the one there in Centerville.
Yeah, no, that was actually, I was going to have you call out a couple of the ones that you can get to here while we're talking about it, because I know there's drivers out there taking notes right now.
I'll tell you, Sapp Brothers in Percival, Iowa, got good burn-ins.
Okay, all right. You said just the one in Centerville there, Polar Bear?
Yeah, that's the real. I mean, there's only a handful that I've been able to go to. I like that. It's not really barbecue, but the in-laws there in Iowa, Louisiana.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just, it's going to be a long road trip for me to go try all of these, but I would really like to at some point in time. And as I get down through the list a little bit, there's some that we should probably mention here that are going to offend some people if we don't, like St. Louis style barbecue. It did get brought up a little bit, St. Louis style ribs, but I think that Matt, when he was talking about those, is probably saucing them with with Kansas City or something like that, right? It's a cut. So any thoughts? Yeah.
Cut of ribs. That's all it is. It's not a style. It's how they're cut.
Well, and I'm seeing here too that Denny would not even consider this barbecue because the overview of St. Louis barbecue is it's characterized by grilled rather than smoked meats, especially spare ribs, and a preference for saucing after cooking. So Denny, this doesn't even exist in your barbecue world.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I'll throw another one out there. You asked for places. I don't know if it's still there, but years ago, and I can't tell you the exit number. I wish I could. I know it's north of exit 69, going north towards Minneapolis. It's north of there, over to the left or the west side of I-35, there's a Walmart, but to the right, there's a little strip center that has a gas station and decent amount of truck parking. There's probably parking for 20, maybe 30 trucks back there. And they've got a barbecue place that's actually pretty good in that strip center, and also got a laundromat. So, you throw your clothes in, go eat, go back, swap them out. But
yeah,
I would stop there.
Barbecue, you need to go by that laundromat probably about 24 hours later, right? You eat the barbecue, do a 34, clean your britches, and get back on the road, huh?
I'd hate to do a 34 at that place.
Well, it's what's funny about it to me is you can find good barbecue anywhere you go, but there's also a lot of bad barbecue out there. I mean, I've had some of the driest, most cough-worthy meat that I've ever wanted to try just because I crave barbecue so much, and I don't always want to put half a day into making good ones myself. So, I'll go out and try, and I got to be honest with you, the last time I found a good one, I was so excited about it. I got to try it once. I went down there the following week to try it again. And the day after I tried it, their smoker caught on fire and burnt the whole place to the ground. It was just a food truck, and they were outside and burnt the whole structure, little lean-to that they had built, and out of business. So I'm back to not really having much good barbecue around me. I will say this. I'm glad that I'm not down in Georgia because, again, much like Alabama, and I find that these two states have a lot of similarities, something wacky's going on down in Georgia. They serve their barbecue. It's mostly chopped pork. They don't really do anything crazy with the meat, but they have a thing called Brunswick stew that comes on the side very religiously.
Ooh, good stuff.
You're saying good stuff because I heard that this is normally made with like rabbit and like weird, like varmint meat, like squirrel meat and stuff. Is that true?
Might be. I don't know, but I know it's good. It's got cabbage and vegetables and stuff in it. I don't know if I've ever had Brunswick stew I pushed away.
Really? Okay, Jason, I hear some satisfied sounds coming from you.
Not satisfied.
Oh, it was
yeah. He's been in the trees and on the grass. I don't want that.
Tastes like chicken.
Everything. That's funny. Everything does.
Yep, everything does. I was told alligator tastes like chicken. Had a little bit of gator at one point in time. I don't know about
chicken.
That. I'll tell you what does taste like chicken. It kind of scared me, and it was rattlesnake.
I had rattlesnake when I was in San Antonio when I went down there for a month. And yeah, I liked it. I was surprised.
It wasn't bad.
They said it's like chicken. I'm like, everything's like chicken, and then it actually was chicken. I was like,
give me a chicken.
Yeah, right. Well, a lot of people will say, it tastes like chicken. Well, chicken leg or chicken gizzard, because there's a difference.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
need to know.
I've eaten 2 different kinds of chicken, bro. I don't know what you're.
You do gotta try the alligator though, coming from a fat guy though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. I think Denny characterized it well. It was tough chicken. It felt like it'd been swimming around in a swamp its whole life.
Frog's legs are like greasy chicken.
Really? I've never tried frog's legs.
I've never had good frog legs. Maybe they just weren't made right, but they always tasted really greasy to me, oily.
Well, if you can find
on the subject of poultry though, we haven't touched on this, but every Christmas growing up, we had smoked turkey. Yeah. Not roasted in the oven turkey or deep fried turkey. That's good too, but we had smoked turkey. And that's some good shit, man.
I cook my turkey every Thanksgiving on a Traeger.
Yep. That's how I've been doing it too. And you know
I'm
what
coming to your house.
You know what I did this last time, Jason, that was, well, I'm pretty sure I slipped a couple people into a diabetic coma the way they fell asleep on my couch, but I mixed honey and maple syrup and melted butter, and I injected probably 8 gallons of it into that bird before I smoked it.
Wow.
It was so good. It tasted like candy. My brother-in-law told me I'm not going to your mom's ever again for Thanksgiving, and I was like, I'm not doing this ever again. It's an undertaking, right? It was a process.
Yeah.
But damn, it's good, man. Those Traegers will make a damn good bird. It doesn't matter what kind you put in there. I've had good duck off of a Traeger.
I can see Matt shaking his head right now because we're talking about a Traeger.
Uh-oh. He's a traditionalist, isn't he?
Oh, he is. Oh, man. Don't be thinking you're going to show up at his house with a plug-in play.
Yeah, this guy's out here hosting barbecue competitions. He doesn't need your electric bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, listen, I feel like we've covered a lot of the bases today. Of course, as always, we're going to leave some room for final thoughts here. But I want to thank everybody for being here today. And Polar Bear, it sounds like you might have some final thoughts already ready for us. Let's clear some space here, as much time as you need, my friend. Anything that we missed today or anything else that you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, it's just like I said, being the truck driver, that's where I get around everywhere, and it's just you see all the places. It's just like being down here in Louisiana and all that. You find all the Cajun places, but none of them are truck friendly, so you never get into them. But like I said, it's kind of like a good Mexican dish. I'm not really on one place or another. I just like the food. So it's kind of like barbecue. If I see a barbecue and I can get into it, I'm definitely going to try it. And you definitely got to take your wallet with when you go into them places too. They're specialty.
Yep. It's not cheap, man. There's no 3-meat barbecue plate that's cheap anywhere. I feel like basically you're looking at $20 for one of those, and then you got to start tacking on sides as well, because
just the name,
Yep, absolutely. And that is one thing that, and I promise everybody listening that we're going to get to later on in the episode. We didn't talk, except for Brunswick stew, which I know that you've never pushed one away, Denny, but I'll push all of them away if they're made with rabbit. I'm sorry. But we are going to talk sides a little bit later in this episode. I'm trying to organize my guests, and we're going to debate some sides in the second half of the episode here. So look forward to that. But final thoughts from you, Matt Kleich. I know you're passionate about your barbecue, man. So I want to leave you as much time as you need. And actually, before I forget, thank you, Polar Bear, for being here. Always a pleasure, my friend.
I'm always ready to be here with you.
I know you are. One of these days, you're going to come out here and have a cup of coffee with me in my home state. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too, Marcus, also.
Thanks, Polar Bear.
Hotline road trip. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, I might as well, guys. Get out here for a football game, and I'll cook you all food, and it'll disappoint Matt, but the rest of you will be full. Matt Kleich, final thoughts for us from your lazy boy at home. Did we lose Matt?
Hey, Matt, put that beer down. Breathe. Come on, breathe. You can do it.
He slipped.
He heard Traeger and like rolled out. Everything fell over. Oh.
I hope he wasn't just glugging on a bottle of barbecue sauce during the last 5 minutes. We might have killed him. Okay, well, final thoughts.
There we go.
Oh, he's back.
Whoa. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I heard you guys talking.
Well, we weren't talking any shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
The queen must have put the beer on. Look, really, you couldn't reach it.
Shut up, Jason. Don't worry about my beer or my fridge. But Polar Bear, shut up. I'm gonna, Denny. First of all, you're an amazing man. I would like to learn more from you. Some ideas, absolutely.
Wow.
Because the idea of barbecue, people don't understand, is grilling and barbecue are two different worlds. And you've got some concepts and some ideas that you threw out that I just kind of caught on, minus the easy bake oven.
Minus one
Oh,
Traeger. Well, I'll tell you
Oh,
one
sure.
thing. I'll tell you one thing about Denny Stone, Matt. He's really knowledgeable when it comes to barbecue. He doesn't know shit about chili. That stuff's got beans in it. I know. I make it.
Well, I'm going to be beat up too because my chili has beans in it too. So Denny, I mean, listen, if I'm going to bow down to you, you're going to smell the farts from my chili.
Final thoughts from you, Jason Cranehagen, and then we're going to let Denny have his piece, I promise, because he's chewing on his bottom lip right now. I can see it. Jason, thanks for being here, man. What anything left from you before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what I was called your YouTube video or your YouTube channel there that other time, a couple weeks ago, last week, wherever that was.
Yep.
A smoked meatloaf, dude. I forgot that one. That's good.
No.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
You guys
Mhm.
take your meatloaf the hell out of my barbecue conversation before I get angry.
Jason on this one.
Well, he's wrong, so enjoy being wrong. That's all I have to say about it. I told you guys on the other podcast, this is a hill I will die on.
I trip to go see you, and you just totally went it up.
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you right now, it's a Great Depression food, and it should have stayed in the Great Depression.
Oh.
I don't see you out here cold smoking hardtack. You know, I mean...
Okay, we know how it works out. Just bring up meatloaf.
Yeah.
Pass it over. More.
His mama didn't know how to cook it.
Oh, don't say that. She'll listen. And I got a call from her talking shit about meatloaf after last week's podcast. So you take that back, Denny Stone. I'm not fielding another one.
I don't know. I'm just suspecting somebody didn't know how to make meatloaf right if you don't like
Nobody knows how to make meatloaf. There's no right way to ball meat up into a thing and put stuff in it. Just make a burger patty and be done with it.
Exactly. You can't screw it up, I don't think.
Hey, Denny, have you ever had a fatty?
I have.
You know, in the smoking world, they call it fatty.
Yeah.
In the world, but
Well,
I don't think I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I was there. I think you're talking the wrong fatty. I don't know.
well, I think you both are. But Denny, I'm pretty sure in the smoking world, especially down in Texas, they have fatties. It's a form of meatloaf. You can have a macaroni and cheese. You can have a pizza. They stuff this thing and they smoke the shit out of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's called a fatty. It's one of the best meatloafs you'll ever have.
I've heard of fatties that you smoke too.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was talking about. Of course, I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so things are a bit greener out here. But you know what? It sounds like you could punt. It sounds like you could punt kick one of those fatties a solid 45 yards. I wouldn't doubt it. But listen, I'll tell you this: if you're gonna stuff it with macaroni and cheese, you might have my attention, but only once. If it's bad, I'm sending my mom to your house, Kleich.
Listen, here's the deal. You're coming down. I heard rumors, and I'm not going to say too much, but I heard rumors. But if it happens, I'll make you a fatty.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll make you one too, but I might not get through TSA. All right.
He says he's going to need that. Just eat that meatloaf.
Oh, goodness. Denny Stone, it's been a pleasure having you here along for the ride with the guys from the Teenage Hotline today. I want to clear some final space for your thoughts as well. Thank you so much for donating your time to us today on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. It's been great having you, man.
Well, these guys are fun. This is a blast. While we're on the subject of meatloaf, since you like it so much, I used to make an Italian meatloaf years ago.
I don't know
The reason being because I don't like making meatballs, so I just made one great big meatball, turned it into a meatloaf, and served it with pasta.
Jesus. I'll tell you,
I need to make it sound better.
there's one way to ruin every good regional cuisine, and it's put a meatloaf in it.
Okay,
Definitely make it on the hotline.
I gotta throw this in there since I may not be on the second part of this. My sides you gotta have if I'm gonna have barbecue, my favorites anyway, a good coleslaw. There's a lot of coleslaw that sucks, but a good coleslaw.
Yes.
Potato salad, and I make a killer potato salad. That's my side if I'm coming to your house, okay? Pinto beans, and while I'll say that, when I make my chili, I serve pinto beans with it. So if you come to my house and we have chili, there's beans on the table. You can dump some in your chili. I may cringe when you do it, but it's allowed.
They're add-ons.
Good to know.
And some good dill pickles.
Yeah, good dill pickle is great with any kind of barbecue, man.
And my final thought, and you may have to throw it back out to the other guys because they're probably going to laugh, but I am a barbecue connoisseur. I love and enjoy barbecue. I eat barbecue. I do not prepare barbecue.
Okay.
We have a role reversal at our house. We discovered this a long time ago. I can make almost anything in the kitchen because my grandmother, my sweet little, not even 5 foot tall grandmother, when I was a teenager, she said, "I'm going to teach you how to cook so you don't have to marry some old gal just to eat." So she taught me how to cook. I can make anything in the kitchen. But when it comes to barbecue or grilling, I'm liable to make something that resembles shoe leather. Okay. While my wife can do great outside. Give her a hard cider in her hand, and she's happy as a clam out there making stuff. So it's a role reversal. I am not a barbecue aficionado. I am a barbecue eater.
Okay. Well, get yourself a Traeger. Even an idiot can use one of those, Denny.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, it's true. I know Matt won't approve, but I'm telling you, it's foolproof.
You're also making it for yourself, so each cook is their own.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Well, fellas, we've been on here for going on 50 minutes today. Got to cut it off. Thank you all for being here. Polar Bear, Jason Crayenhagen, Matt Kleich, and of course, my good friend and colleague, Denny Stone. This has been so much fun. The hot dogs on the back of my neck hurt from laughing. And you know what? I can tell you guys right now, we'll be revisiting this one for sure. Thanks, fellas, on the Teenage Hotline. Thanks to Denny Stone. We'll be right back here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. Welcome back to the Liquid Trucking Podcast. And I'm so excited about this next segment. I'm joined by Jake Debo from the Plattsmouth Terminal. Jake, thanks for being here with me today, my friend.
Absolutely, Marcus. I'm ready to go. I've done some research, and I'm ready to rock on this post 4th of July Monday here.
It's a tough day for us to do this because we're all coming into it with full bellies. As you guys know, we do record the show a couple weeks in advance. So, yeah, we're coming off of a 4th of July weekend. I'm like 40% hot dog right now. But I'm ready to talk barbecue here. And Jake and I are going to be doing the first ever Liquid Trucking Podcast draft here with you as we draft our favorite barbecue sides. Now, I just came off of almost an hour-long interview with 3 liquid drivers and 1 former truck driver. These guys have been all over the country. They've tried every different kind of barbecue there is to try. And the one thing I found, Jake, out of this interview is that when it comes to sides, it's a real circus in the world of barbecue. I mean, there's like, I saw one regional barbecue list as their main side, pickles. That's it, pickles. And like where I come from, there's a pickle on every barbecue plate that you order. That's not a side, that's a garnish to me. That's parsley on, pasta or something like that. So we're kind of entering into crapshoot territory here, Jake, is what I'm figuring out.
Yeah, I mean, the pickle one is interesting for sure. Now, because there's several ways that you can go with just the pickle. Are we talking pickle spears? Are we talking fried pickle chips? I mean, there's a big variety of the pickles, but I'm with you on that. If you're going to have some barbecue, it's a pretty standard thing just to have the pickles at least somewhere within reaching distance, so you can put them on top of your pulled pork or put it on a hot dog if you're doing that. I know some people put them on a bratwurst even. So people can go crazy with the pickles, but in terms of a side, Yeah, not sure if I've ever seen it just as a pure, just a pickle sitting there as a side. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, like if I was looking at the side dishes on your menu at your barbecue stand and pickle is on there with any price attached to it, I'm probably going to the next place, man, because where I come from, unless they're fried or there's something going on with them, pickles are just gratis, man. That's not a side. Maybe I've had too many free pickles in my life and I need to learn how the other side lives, but that's why it's going to be interesting. Now, you told me in the lead up to this that you have identified like 9 or 10 different things here for your potentials. I've got, I think, 7 or 8. And the way that this draft is going to work, everybody, is Jake's going to pick first here in just a second. He's going to take his round 1 pick 1, which would mean this is his absolute go-to favorite side. He's got to get it off the board before I come in and steal it from him, because we're not allowed to pick something that the other guy has already taken. It's just like a football draft, basketball, anything else. Once that player's off the board, there's no getting him in Cincinnati. So that's what we're looking at here. And I'm ready, Jake. Are you ready?
Yeah, and before we begin, Marcus, let me say what an honor it is to be not only on this first draft, but the first pick of the first draft. I mean, it's not like it's a lot of pressure, but it is a lot of pressure. And with this first pick, looking at my board here, looking at the big board as any good NFL GM would do, now all of a sudden I'm starting to second guess myself a little bit. We're gonna trust the plan we went into before the draft, and we're gonna stick to it. We like our picks. We like our criteria. So, yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Perfect. Well, let's get the Sam Spence back on underneath of us. Love my Sam Spence NFL Films music, and don't want to go without thanking him for that. I think it's gone royalty-free at this point. If you guys don't hear music right now, just know that we made the executive decision to edit it out to keep our pants off fire, okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and lead this off with the first pick in the inaugural Liquid Trucking podcast draft of barbecue sides. Who will Jake Debo select?
All right. Now, a little bit when I was looking at these, what I was going to say, guys, I was looking at these sides, figuring out what I wanted. I was thinking versatility. What can we use in multiple spots? Just like a good pass catching running back, you want somebody who can do it all a little bit, can do a little blocking, do a little catching, do a little running. So that's where I was coming from with my first pick. This is a recent kind of favorite food of mine, but I'm going to go with coleslaw. Now, a lot of people are going to I'm sure, are shaking their heads at that pick, but let me just explain. Coleslaw, first of all, it's light, it's refreshing, just tastes unbelievable on a hot day. Number two, when going back to versatility, that's something that can go on a little bit of everything. You might be able to put a little bit on your sandwich. You can eat it straight up. You can maybe mix it in with another one of your salads that you're having. It can just do a bunch of different things like that multi-tool running back that I was talking about. I recently discovered when having some chicken sandwiches, obviously, which can fall into barbecue sometimes, but man, when you have some good coleslaw and you start adding it to this and that, I just feel there's nothing better. That freshness cuts through all that meat that you're eating. And for me, that's a must-have on every single barbecue, cookout, 4th of July, middle of December. I want coleslaw.
It's a good pick, man. It's a very solid pick. The only thing I'm going to add to what you said, because I agree with all of it, is that it's got to be done right. I've had some bad coleslaw in my life, and you can pick it out immediately. I've actually taken to making coleslaw recently, just getting a bag of chopped cabbage and carrots and the like, and making my own dressing. Just a quick tip: if you're going to make your own coleslaw, do not forget the sugar. Because it makes it very bitter and very hard to do when it's just vinegar and mayonnaise and like salt and those things. There's a fair bit of sugar that's supposed to go in coleslaw, and I put mine and my wife's palate off a couple weeks ago, Jake, by forgetting that crucial piece. So doing your coleslaw right is definitely necessary, but I will say solid 1-1 pick there for you. It was on my list. I'll be honest with you. It was my number 2 pick. So I'm okay with you. I'm okay with you taking it 1-1 because I guess it's my turn now. But first, quick round of applause for coleslaw. We know you all love it. I talked to the drivers about some coleslaw right before this, so it's definitely sought after. But for me, well, wait, you know what? One more caveat. There's not a lot of vegetables involved in barbecue. And so coleslaw gives you a bit of that. You need some fiber if you're going to be crushing Q, right, Jake?
100%. Yeah, and again, thank you for adding to my points. Yes, you need some fiber. Just another way to show the versatility this wonderful side dish
Yep,
has.
absolutely, man. Solid pick. For my round one, and this would be pick 2, I am going to go with an all-American classic. Now, I know it might not have started in America. I'm sure somebody found a way to do it before this great nation became what it was. But there is a way to win my heart with every barbecue plate that you serve me, and it is to have a big, thick, hearty, maybe even topped with some Crispies bowl of macaroni and cheese. I don't know any pasta dish of any kind that I can take just a dollop. I'm talking an ice cream scoop and slap it on top of insert barbecue here. I don't care if it's ribs, brisket, rib tips, pulled pork, throw a giant glob of mac and cheese on with that bite, and winner in the clubhouse for me, man. I'm so happy you didn't take macaroni and cheese, because I thought, hands down, this is going to be the one that everybody's going to want. And I think that really there's an argument to be made about coleslaw for that too. Like, I think we did right with our picks 1 and 2 here. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I obviously had mac and cheese on my big board, a little bit further down at number 4 for me, so I'm okay with you taking that one. But one of the things that I kind of wanted to know with mac and cheese, and you kind of touched on it there, the variants. Are we talking crispy? Are we talking that crust on top? What kind of cheese are we using? What kind of noodles are we using? Some people might not eat it if it's not shells. If it's got to be the shells, it can't be the regular macaroni noodles, or maybe you like the spirals. But at the end of the day, it's mac and cheese. It's hard to go wrong. Like, maybe you don't love the crusties, but you like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, it's like you said, a big old dollop of mac and cheese is never going to turn anybody away. So, excellent pick, in my opinion. Not, like I said, not my number 1, but so I'm glad you took it. I'm not knocking off the list here, but again, solid pick.
Well, and to answer your question about what is the kind, I will take it from like 99-cent boxed knockoff Kraft mac and cheese all the way up to 5-star. I'll take every iteration with every add-on. I'm a sucker for cheese, Jake. Let's face it. That's all it is. It's just another cheese delivery system to get it into my body. So,
yeah, who doesn't love mac? And no, let's be frank here. None of us are above a good flaming hot Cheetos mac and cheese. All right, you know what I mean?
It's a very good point. Very good point. Moving on to round 2 in our draft. Jake's back on the clock. And I'm curious to know, man, if mac and cheese was all the way down your list at number 4 and coleslaw was number 1, what's sliding in here at pick number 2 for you?
Now, number 2, I think you're going to like. I think a lot of people out there are going to like. Again, it has some versatility to it. You can use it right at the start of your meals, a little appetizer. Maybe use it at the end to do some cleanup on your plate. But with number 2, we're going with some nice, delicious, warm cornbread with number 2. That's the number 2 pick.
Cornbread.
Going with cornbread. Like I said, you could start off your dinner just having a piece or 2 of that. You get the appetite fired up, ready to go. And at the end of your meal too, when you're sitting there with a plate of leftover, I won't tip any other picks, but let's just say leftover barbecue sauce. Like, how am I gonna get this, and how am I gonna eat the rest of this on here? You just take a nice piece of cornbread, you soak it up, you pop it in. Delicious. So
Yep.
I'm going to go with cornbread. I feel like it's one you maybe don't see as often, for whatever reason it might be. But man, there's nothing better than, like I said, a nice light, warm cornbread to go along with just a big old hot plate of barbecue.
Yeah, it's a good pick, man. I love a good honey butter with some cornbread too. I'll eat it just commando with nothing but some honey and some butter on it. I think, based on the research that I did, that cornbread is a bit of a regional barbecue choice, and I couldn't tell you exactly what region it's coming from. I'll tell you, they probably don't do it any better than you guys do it out there in Nebraska, so maybe some good Nebraska cornbread along with your regional barbecue of choice is just, that's tops, man. Good pick there. I was really afraid you were going to take one of my later picks. You dodged it narrowly, and I'll get to that here in just a little bit, but cornbread coming in at number 2 for Jake. For me, I'm going to keep it in the salad range, because I find that, when you say the word salad with barbecue, everybody's like, what, you mean coleslaw? Sometimes I do. I definitely don't mean a garden salad, but what I am taking for number 2 is a good, solid potato salad. You just can't go wrong with it, man. And listen, I'm a French fry guy. I'm a potato guy. I love them cooked just about any way. Was not into potato salad for most of my life. I think probably going back like maybe 10 years is all I've been eating potato salad. And I'm not joking you, Jake. I'll take the stuff and put it between two pieces of white bread if there's nothing else around. I mean, I'm a sucker for a good potato salad. I don't like a lot of onions in it because I don't like the crunch, but I do like some pickles in it because I do like that little vinegary kick. So I'm a bit picky with my potato salad, but it's coming on the list at number 2 for me. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I like it. And I mean, we have chicken salad sandwich, we have tuna salad sandwich. Like, why not have a potato salad sandwich? I don't see anything wrong with that personally, but actually, I think this is the one where we might have the biggest disagreement. Now, I had potato salad a decent bit down my board here. And the main reason for that being, this is probably just as a product of not having a great potato salad before, but I feel like I'm always having to add a little bit too much salt and pepper to my potato salads. I
Okay.
want to come in, I don't want to have to add too many, extra additives or extra little flavor. I want to be able to use just what's in there, just the potato salad bones itself. Now, with what you said, I'm not sure that I've ever had a potato salad with pickles in it. So
Yeah.
that is, see, right there is an example of like, maybe I just haven't had the good stuff here yet. But I think it's a solid pick. I'll eat it every time it's on my plate, but it's not going to be the first thing I go to.
Okay. All right. So we're actually, as we move past the midpoint in our draft here, what we're finding is that if we can only pick certain sides that are on the table and we're limited to a certain number of them, Jake and I make a great barbecue date because nobody has picked anybody else's pick yet. And hey, that's the fun of a draft. You just don't know going in. But let's move on to round 3. Jake's pick in round number 3. What do you got for me?
Yeah, and I think we talked earlier before this, like, hey, I'm not sure how many sides actually exist. I think what we're discovering is a good variety of sides.
Yep.
But for my number 3 pick here, I think I'm going to stay. Yep, I'm going to. Now, see, I'm thinking about it now because I only got 2 picks left, so I really got to be careful with this one. But I think with this next one, I'm going to stay in the salad family, and we're going to go with a nice, delicious, hearty pasta salad.
Oh, good one. Good one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because you're getting kind of the same thing with the coleslaw. You're getting something that's a little bit cooler, a little bit more refreshing on a hot day. And going back to kind of your mac and cheese pick, the variants that you can kind of go with the pasta salad. Maybe you add a few more of those little tomatoes. I'm not sure exactly what you call them, but boy, are they delicious. You throw some of those in there for a pop of light flavor. I know some people like to throw in some salami or some other meats into there to make it, like I said, a little bit more hearty. I know being from St. Louis, where we have our St. Louis style barbecue, one thing that you'll see is Provel cheese. I'll get thrown into the pasta salad. And if you've never had Provel, it's unbelievable. It's the cheese they put on Emo's Pizza there. But, I get a little bit of that regionality in there. I throw that special cheese in there. And, man, there's nothing better than a fine pasta salad on a hot barbecue.
I don't argue with you there, and it is going to be the first time that you are going to steal a pick from me because it was where I was going next. Fantastic pick. In fact, you don't have to go back that far in the podcast library. Just last week on the Liquid Trucking Podcast, I shared with you drivers my mother's pasta salad recipe that I absolutely swear by. And while I love a good pasta salad, they're all second place to the recipe that I gave you last week in my mind. So great pick here. And yes, I love the fact that you can get it's another cheese delivery system. You can get some veggies in there, that cool Italian dressing on a nice hot day. There's nothing better than going from the piping hot, barbecue meats over to the cool salad and cool coleslaw and back again. Okay, we're butting heads a little bit. We found the contentious point in the draft. It's round 3, pick one for Jake. He got under my skin a little bit there, which means I'm going to have to slot my 4th pick up to number 3, and it's going to surprise many of you. It's already been mentioned on this podcast as sort of a side, sort of not a side, but what I realized is how important it is to most of my favorite barbecue dishes because I like just a bowl of rib tips. Jake, and the one thing that the best rib tips I ever got from the barbecue king here in Eugene, Oregon, which, trust me, he was a transplant. He did not hail from Eugene because he knew how to make rib tips. He used to serve those to us in just a little plastic container, and he would slap down 2 pieces of just plain old Wonder Bread, white bread, and he would throw those rib tips on top of them. I've since had pulled pork and brisket and every other manner of meat that you can eat, coupled with just a nice generic piece of white bread. Versatile doesn't even begin to describe it. Am I having a sandwich? Am I having an appetizer? Am I just scooping up what turned into bread pudding and barbecue sauce out of the bottom of this dish? It's the offensive lineman of barbecue sides, Jake. It's on a lot of plates, but it's not ever talked about as something significant. I'm taking a flyer. This is Tim Tebow. I'm trying it, okay? Give me white bread with my third pick of our Liquid Trucking Podcast barbecue side draft. Now, I've been watching the look on your face. Are you just disgusted with me? Did I surprise you? Are you mad that you didn't think of that first? What are your thoughts here, Jake?
Well, I just love the boldness of the pick there. I'll be honest, it was off my board, not on my board. Wonder Bread not on there, probably because I was raised as a wheat bread kid.
Okay.
But not on my board. But man, you make a compelling case for it, and especially the point on being versatile. As I said at the beginning of this draft, versatility is kind of the key to what we're looking for here. What goes well with everything else? What can we use to scoop up this with, or make a sandwich with that? So I think from a versatility standpoint, hell of a pick there, Marcus. I couldn't be more behind you. It's just one I never heard before. I've never really seen it at too many barbecues, but like I said, you make a great case for it, so it just kind of threw me off. I was just surprised by it, but good work by your scouting department. They dug in deep there. They looked at some good tape, and clearly I think it's a strong pick.
Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence there. It could be Brock Purdy. It could be Johnny Manziel. We will see as time will tell for sure. But we're moving into a very important part here of the draft, what I could call the anchor leg. Now, in the NFL draft, by the time you get down into the 250th pick, people are not caring very much anymore. But a guy that I just mentioned there in my pick was Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, pick number 256 in the draft. Last guy, everybody makes fun of him. He's normally a punter. He's an afterthought. But all of a sudden, here he is starting for one of the best teams in the league, my San Francisco 49ers, and there's no bias in that comment. What I mean here is to say that this last pick, while it might seem insignificant put up against some of the sides, this last pick could make or break your plate when you think about it. And I can't wait to see what you've got for us because your board is still completely intact. I haven't stolen any from you at this point, Jake.
Yeah, no. Well, we took the mac and cheese. That was definitely on there.
True. That's true.
You got one of those. But I'm looking at this final pick, and man, I got an unbelievable more regional selection. I got a fan favorite for sure, and I have one that kind of toes a little bit of a line. So, do I want to win this draft, or do I want to be bold in this draft? And I think what I'm going to do, and I might be opening up a door to a loss here, but I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go regional. And I'm going to go with fried okra as my final pick.
Okay, fried okra.
Fried okra. Shout out to Beyonce and her family in Oklahoma. It's a southern one, but okra, if you haven't had it before, man, does it add something nice to a nice barbecue dish. Like I said, it might be a little bit more regional, but if you haven't tried it, get out there and try it.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, I will be honest with you, and I'm going to piss off a lot of drivers right now. I know it, but I have never had fried okra. I've never had okra. In fact, if you put it on a shelf right now at the grocery store and asked me to pick it out, I probably wouldn't be able to select it. So I'm interested, and I will definitely try it because I feel like it's pretty high praise coming from you in this draft. If you're willing to be bold, listen, I know it's a well-liked side out there. It just hasn't crossed my plate yet. And look at you, getting more vegetables on your plate. You're a healthy young man. I love what I'm seeing out of you here.
Now hold on. We did say fried okra.
Okay.
All right. Let's make sure we get that in there. It's nice and deep fried. But
Okay.
yeah, it's one that a lot of people hadn't had. I had not had it until I met my lovely lady from Oklahoma. So she was the one to introduce me to it. It's been a staple ever since. So every time we're cooking or barbecuing or something like that. You know what? But like I said, I wanted to go bold. There's probably, for a lot of people, there's probably a 1-1 pick still out there. I'm curious to see if you take it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, just like your Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow pick here in the last one, I'm gonna go on a limb too and say the fried okra is where I want to go.
I think
But again,
you can,
fried,
yeah.
not just as vegetable.
Okay, I'm definitely writing that down. But I think you can win it here, Jake. I really do. And of course, what we're gonna do is put this up. Maybe I'll ask some drivers about it. I'll open up the email inbox to get your thoughts on whose barbecue side draft won the day here. But I think that fried okra, listen, there's going to be people that just because you picked fried okra and that's that regional delight, that they're going to say you win hands down, because if it doesn't have it, I don't want it, right? And I don't know if I have one of those on my page yet. Maybe mac and cheese. But I'm going to, I feel like I really have to make kind of a surprise pick here, and I'm going with something that's not even on my board, believe it or not. But I've had it as a side at so many different barbecues, and I've had it done so many different ways and done well that I think that I just have to. A, because I love it so much, and B, because my mother might disown me if I don't bring this one up and put it in the draft, and I know that she's listening. So I want to say, over on the West Coast, I've always known them as calico beans is my fourth pick. You guys out in the Midwest or down in Texas and Oklahoma might know them as ranch beans or cowboy beans. But basically what it is you take, some kidney beans, lima beans. You can use black beans in there. You can use pinto beans. And you get it in a crock pot, a lot like a chili, with like some browned ground beef. But instead of being real tomatoey and tangy and even spicy like chili, this is going to be more of a sweet and savory. We're talking bacon and like maple notes in there. And look, way probably not the best thing for you to add to a plate of already high saturated fat materials here. But I'll tell you right now, a good bowl of calico beans will go not only just on a side, but you'll find me the next day once all the barbecue has been eating through with just a bowl of it, eating it like cereal. So that's going to be my fourth pick. And I'll tell you one thing here. I'm going to the hospital for a triple bypass with my plate way before you are, even if the okra is fried, because I'm sitting here with mac and cheese, potato salad, white bread, and calico beans. Jake, you are hanging out with coleslaw, cornbread, pasta salad, and fried okra. What I will say, couple of fantastic barbecue plates here. You put either one of these in front of me, I'm going home limping, okay?
Oh yeah, well wait, we're going home. I'll tell you what, we're going back for seconds, that's for sure.
Amen to that, man. Amen. Well, there you have it. The inaugural Liquid Trucking Draft, and on this one, we went with barbecue sides. Jake Debo, it's fantastic having you here, man. I can't wait to do more of these. I want to get more people involved in them, make this more competitive, get some of the drivers on board, and we are developing a laundry list of things that we can draft from here. So if you drivers are interested, let us know, podcast@liquidtrucking.com. We'd love to have you in for it. And I'm telling you, next time, Jake, I'm doing my homework. I'm not going to let you walk all over me quite like you did this time. I'm going to come prepared, really well prepared for the next one.
All right, we'll see about that. I already got my team out in the field scouting for the next draft, and I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it, Marcus. Thanks for the opportunity.
Hey, I knew that it was going to be a tall order to beat a guy in a draft like this that comes from working with sports franchises in his past, and that's every reason I invited you. You told me, you set the standard today. It's my turn to see if I can back it up. Loved having you here. We'll definitely get you back on again, Jake. And this is going to wrap up the entire segment and the entire podcast episode because we are way out of time. So, Jake Debo, thanks for being here. Everybody else, stay safe out there. Keep the shiny side up, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in and being the gold standard of drivers on the road. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and tune in next week for another episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Interested in finding out more about what it takes to bring a podcast like the Liquid Trucking Podcast to your fleet? Bulldog provides tailor-made top-to-bottom podcast production services. We'll meet your terminal staff, connect with your drivers, and bring you the content you want your drivers to hear. Type bulldog.works into your browser to connect with us and learn more about what we can do for your fleet. That's bulldog.works for podcasts, tenacious recruiting, and more.